For this code challenge, we're going to get you started in Python. And so actually typing out the Python code language and making sure that you're very careful as far as what you capitalize and what you keep as far as lowercase, because everything counts. So we're going to go to Trinket.io, and the reason we're going to use this page is because it's a great way to do it online and experiment with Python. So go ahead and scroll down and click to sign in with Google, and you can sign in with your Google account. And you're going to click on create a new Trinket, and we're just going to use Python as the first drop-down option. Now, to get started, we're going to create a random turtle game. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to bring in a few packages from the outside cyber world. So the first thing we're going to type in is from turtle import, and then from random import. And the reason we're going to bring those is we're going to use those in order to randomize our game as far as our turtle race. And to test it, you can just hit the run right there, and you'll see that nothing happened, but you also didn't get an error. So that means that it did work. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to type in our speed and our pen, and we're going to set where we're going to start to create our track. And so we're going to type in speed as 0 and pen up as open and close parentheses. And we're going to hit go to, and we're going to put our cursor at -140 and +40. Now run the program just to make sure you don't get a code error and that you do get a cursor. Now let's create the markings for our turtle race. So we're going to actually make the markings on the field. So we're going to write out for step and range, and we're going to go by 15. So that's why that's in parentheses. We're going to type in right, comma, or parentheses, step, comma, align equals center. And then we're going to type in the right command and then forward 10, then put the pen down, then go forward 150 again, then put the pen up. And once you run this code, you're going to see why it's set up the way that it is. Let's test our code and see how it works. All right, so real fast, we've already created our football field in order to race our turtles. Now, let's create some turtles. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna call my turtle Ada. And so Ada equals turtle. And Ada, I'm gonna make her color, let's make her red. So Ada.color is red. And then we have to give Ada a shape, and so her shape is going to be obviously a turtle. Now, when Ada is going to start at the starting line, which is going to be 0, I need to move her over. So that's why I have the Ada.pen up, and then I have to have her go right to the starting point, which is going to be -160 to 100. And so I have her pen up to move her and then pen down to set her in place. So if I run it again, you're going to see Ada is set where she needs to be as far as with the code. So now it's not going to be a real game until we actually create other turtles for Ada to race again. So let's create 3 more turtles, and I'm going to copy the code over, but let's create 3 more turtles in order to have them race against one another. So in order to create 3 more turtles, what you're going to do is you're going to replicate the same code that you did before with Ada. And this time I added 3 more turtles. One I called Bob, one I called Sam, and one I called Dave. And you'll notice it's the same exact code repeated. The only thing I changed is that I changed the color, I changed the name, and I also changed the location, because if I put them all in the same location, they're obviously going to end up one on top of the other, but we want to have them lined up for the race. So you can see Bob is blue, and we know that Bob is going to be slightly below where Ada is. Sam is going to be green, and Dave is going to be orange. Now that we have our turtles, the last thing we have to do is randomize the race. So we're going to type in for turn in range, we're going to do 100. We're going to put each of the turtles' names down, so Ada.forward. And then we're going to do in parentheses, we're going to put, we're going to randomize it, so it's RANDINT 1,5. We're going to do Bob the same way, Bob.forward, RANDINT in parentheses, 1,5, because that's your location and your randomization that you're going to have. We're going to put Sam in there, and I'm purposefully making an error so you can see what it looks like whenever you have an error in there. So instead of Sam, I put same, and then, well, let's change it, and then I'll show you what the error looks like. And then lastly, I have Dave.forward, randomize it, so it's going to be a random win each time with your turtle race, and then 1,5. And let's run it and see our turtle race. And they're off. Oh, and it looks like Sam was the one who won. So let me put that error back in so that you can see what it looks like whenever you run it and you have an error. So notice how it starts, but then it'll stop right where you have the error, and it'll tell you what line it is. So it says line 54, I can see I made the mistake, Sam, and I can edit it and then run it again to be successful. Anytime you need to make notes, put a hashtag in front of your notes, and that tells the computer to ignore that text. So anytime you want to put notes in your code, you can always use a hashtag in front of it, and it'll turn green. So go ahead and give it a try, and I can't wait to see your turtle race games and hope you have fun with it.